Okay, we're about to start making the walnut, banana, and date cake. The list of ingredients are almond flour, sugar, regular flour, almond milk, 2 ripe bananas, canola oil, dates, baking powder, vanilla, some chopped walnuts, a touch of salt, and 2 eggs. First thing we want to do is combine the dry ingredients. So we'll start out with 1.5 cups of flour. We like to use organic flour, if possible. To this, we're going to add 1/2 cup of almond flour, which is basically blanched almonds, and then finely grated. There we go. We don't want to add the sugar to this. The sugar will incorporate better with the wet ingredients, so we'll add that in the next step. I'm going to take 1/2 teaspoon of salt, just to bring out some of the flavors, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Now we like to use the aluminum-free baking powder, because nobody wants to eat aluminum anymore. Here we go. All we have to do is incorporate some of the dry ingredients together. There we go. The next step will be to work with the wet ingredients. For the wet ingredients, I like to take our Vitamix. We'll start off with 2 extremely ripe bananas. Kind of when they get brownish looking, that means they're ready for this application. So we have 2, and they smell delicious. They have all the sugars coming out of them. It's the second one. There we go. We'll throw away the banana peel. Like the Japanese always say, make sure you wash your hands on a very regular basis when cooking. Now to the bananas, we're going to add 1/2 cup of organic canola oil as our binder. Perfect. Most recipes will call for 1 cup of oil. We try to lighten it up a little bit. So we introduce organic almond milk, which has a fat because it's made from almonds. And we'll add 1 cup of that. There we go. So basically, instead of using 1 cup of oil and 1/2 cup of almond milk, we switch it around. And we like to take some organic vanilla extract, about a heavy teaspoon of that, maybe even 1.5 teaspoons. There we go. And then finally we'll take 1 cup of dates. Now I like to use the pitted dates. If you can't find those, then buy dates and then pit them yourself. Sometimes they have this little brown spot, which you want to avoid. So we'll put about 1 cup in here. There we go. Nice full cup. And that's about it for the wet ingredients. Now we want to take the Vitamix and put it on low, start off with. We do want to have a little bit of texture with the dates. That's going to come through really nice. So we don't want to purify it fully. or puree it. That looks ready. We'll add the wet to the dry. That looks really good. Make sure you get all of it. I think that's pretty much it. There we go. Now, to this, we wanted to add our walnuts. And final step will be to add 2 eggs. Now you notice we waited to the end to add the eggs. There we go. Now we want to incorporate everything thoroughly. And we're ready to go to the oven. You notice that I'm using the folding technique. We don't want to over disturb the mixture. Take your time with this. I'm going to nicely incorporate everything. When you fold, of course, you go from the bottom over and to the top. I guess the key element here is to make sure that you've incorporated all of the flour into it. And always check at the bottom. We're getting pretty close. Looks like the egg is also thoroughly incorporated. Our next step is to take our baking dish. Now, I like to use a non-stick pan for this. So I have just a regular frying pan, which is non-stick. And I pour the batter in here. You can see the batter is thoroughly incorporated. That's it, right there. And we place it in the oven. Ideal temperature for this is 350 degrees. And set your clock for about 45 minutes. We'll check back when it's done.